Welcome to Season 3 of Sailing Sitka. I'm Kenna, and this is Jay. We live aboard our 1976 Choi Lee sailboat named Sitka, in which we have sailed south from Canada in 2022 to the very last port of Mexico. This season, we are finally exiting Mexico and taking our boat further through the Panama Canal and into the beautiful Central American waters. Alongside us for this season is our pal Nico, who is taking along for the adventure because why the hell not? So hit that subscribe button and follow along, as this season we are sailing as far and wide as possible. You guys you make this happen, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Sailing Sitka, and I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, and thank you for popping into this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Now I know it's not Christmas Day just yet, but it's close enough. So we wanted to say Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year. No, but seriously, Merry Christmas to everybody watching. I know it's a few days in advance, but we wanted to get a chance to tell you guys kind of in person, real time. So that's us doing that. And a special thank you to all our viewers, subscribers. Thank you a lot to our patrons. And we hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. And it's really hot with this hat on right now.
Yeah, we're sweating.
We're just in real time. We're just about to cross the Panama Canal, so stay tuned to see that in the future episodes.
Yes.
Sitka's about to go Atlantic side.
Whoop whoop! Caribbean, here we come! Wow! Playa del Coco, Costa Rica. A port we were at first excited to experience, but now are excited to escape. The last couple days we've encountered torrential rain and a rolly anchorage, which meant we couldn't avoid either or, no matter how hard we tried. So we buckled up for one last night here, but of course it had to be Coco's worst. With the conditions not getting any lighter, we knew we needed to make a dash for it in the morning.
All right, well, the conditions didn't get really better overnight, so now we're just waiting for Nick to be dropped off here in Apanga so we can get the hell out of Dodge. As you can tell, pretty rolly right now. I'm not moving the camera. This is literally the boat moving right now. We're beam 2 right now, which is not great. Same as that catamaran right there. And there's an island right there, and we can barely make it out. Actually, you can't even see it on the camera. Like, that's how much it's raining. So anyways, looking forward to get out of here, because the last 2 nights have been not good for sleeping. Like, you can see the size of the swells coming in. Cameras never do justice for size of swells. They're not that big, but they're one after the other. We're on one right now, and then this one's gonna hit us now. So, and the water is an unappealing river brown color right now. Oh, look at this. Oh, damn. Yeah, looking forward to get the hell out of Dodge right now. So, Coco's Beach, peacing out soon here.
It's getting pretty bad. And as soon as we are wanting to leave, now that Nick's on board, we're caught on a mooring. Just when we were ready to pick up the hook and dip out of Coco's, Jay noticed that our chain was tangled with a mooring. When we thought we were free, Jay would pull on the mooring line with our boat hook, and you could visibly see our chain pulling back in the same direction of the line, meaning our chain was wrapped around the mooring at a deep spot below the surface of the water. After what seemed like forever, Jay finally freed the mooring from Sitka's chain. We thought we were able to pick up the hook easily now, as we always usually do, but we just realized it was 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So our bridle decided to call it quits right now. The foot pedal that brings up the anchor got so much water in it, and it's just deciding not to work right now, so Jay's literally doing it, cranking it by hand. Nick's holding the freaking bridle out of our way. In stressful situations like this, where it's awful conditions and things are going haywire, my brain was fumbling my words while trying to film and explain everything going wrong. So our windlass foot pedal that brings up the chain completely shit the bed, which led Jay to the only other option, bringing in 260 feet of chain with our manual hand crank, which, if you understand, is a slow process. and anyone who knows Jay knows he has little to no patience. This led him to hand bombing the remainder and the majority of the chain while I manned the helm. This got us to the point where we finally freed our anchor and got us on the road out of Cocos before the weather or swell got any worse.
Good job. Okay, first swings. Where's that mooring? Bring my phone, put it on Navionics, have it up by the pillows there, and then go tie the anchor. Alright, well, I am parched, so sometimes people ask us like, oh, do you need to be in shape to sail? The answer always says is yes. Technically, if everything works, like, no, you don't really have to be that much in shape, like things can do it for you. But like for this instance, our windlass would only work down, so to pull it up, it doesn't work because these foot switches are like literally 3 years old. We put them in just before we left sailing offshore, and one of them formed a crack on it, and the amount of rain we had, it probably shorted itself. So anyways, the switch doesn't work at all. So, and we had 260 foot of chain out, so I had to pull 260 foot of chain in by hand. So yeah, I was like, I'm a pretty in shape guy, and I'm literally parched right now. I'm like exhausted, my back's sore, and like, yeah, it's hard. So, and like we're in kind of shitty conditions right now, and we were wrapped around a mooring. I don't know if I was able to film that, but and that mooring was pretty far from us, but like we have so much scope out, and with the way we're rolling around in this anchorage too, you don't point into the wind here. So it's the current, the wind, and the tides here make it so that you're always fighting opposing forces. So that's why like we got all tangled up in that mess. But right now we're finally out of there, and we're gonna be anchoring. Right now we're on the wind, like the wind's coming this way and all the waves are coming this way, so we're getting destroyed there. So we're gonna go over there, like you can see that land over there. There's a safe passage there where these boats are going, but I'm not fucking with this. We're gonna motor an extra 30 minutes, go around. We need to charge the batteries anyways, and it's only like 4 miles straight like this, so maybe we're adding a mile here, but we're gonna go anchor in there and hopefully have a flat calm night. So luckily the down button works, so Kenneth should not have too much of a hard time putting the chain down. But yeah, we tested the manual override, so on the windlass, I've never really had to use it until now. Look at that big thing, a tree. But yeah, it worked good. So when I was a bit tired there, like especially to unstuck the chain, so basically when you're pulling the chain like that, the weight you're pulling is basically however depth you're in. So we were in about 45 feet of water, so you're pulling 45 feet worth of chain up, right? Like the rest is on the bottom, so you're not pulling all 260 feet. That would be impossible. But when the anchor starts lifting off the ground, then that's when it gets heavy, because now you're pulling 45 foot of chain plus the 55 pound anchor, so that's quite a bit of weight. So anyways, fun times aboard Sitka, and it's pissing rain. It's actually, I'm cold right now, but I'm super thirsty, so I'm looking at Kenna right now because I really need water. So she's gonna go grab me a glass, please. First time sailing north in a long time. Due north, baby!
2 days on shore is not good for your body after being on a rocky boat for a month.
Oh, you're so cold. Look at this calmness, you guys. This flat calmness. Oh. Look at this. Now we're about to just clean all these rust flakes off from our freaking stupid chain.
Yeah, it's because we had to use such a lot of chain on the last one.
Clean that all off and have some breakfast and maybe a swim. Oh, life is sure dandy when you're in a flat, calm anchorage. This rain could stop though.
It's raining quite a bit, but it is flat calm here. We were the third sailboat to come in this bay. We know actually the two boats that were here before us. We actually kind of told them about how nice this bay was going to be. So we have Dave behind, and I forget the names of the couple that are in front, but we also met them in Chiapas at the marina. And then the bloke on the catamaran over there showed up right as we were dropping the hook. But we're all like equal distance, and then I'll show you the one powerboat that just showed up and how close they are to us. It's like sailors, we all like kind of like picked our spot to have like good room all around, and then look how close this powerboat is to us. And then this guy, and another sailboat over there. So this guy next to us on the powerboat is about 80 feet away from us on our port, pretty much our port bow right now. And yeah, never a big fan of powerboats being this close to us, especially when I look at his anchor and it's all line. I don't see any chain going in the water, and we're only in 30 feet of water. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Also, powerboats don't move at the same rate as sailboats in the wind and the current. So they have low draft usually, so less portion of their boat is underwater, so they're less affected by current, but they have super high freeboard, meaning they're more affected by wind. So we don't move at the same rate and not in the same kind of radius, so it becomes even more important not to be too close to powerboats. You want to usually, if you're going to anchor close, you want to anchor to something that has a similar hull shape than yours, below and above the surface. That being said, I'm not too worried. Like, this bay's super calm. If it was the other spot where we're just at, I'd be a lot more worried. So anyways, we'll keep an eye on them, but it's just funny.
We may have escaped the rolliness, which we couldn't be more grateful for, but the rain did follow us to our new calm bay, which showed us just how leaky our boat really is. We have a pretty substantial leak in our stateroom, which more than once has leaked so much to the point where it gets our entire bedding wet. In the galley, we have a drip coming from what we can imagine is the large leak from the port side porthole, and another one from the same porthole on the starboard side. Lastly, somehow, someway, Sitka has shown us another leak that leads to our galley's sliding cabinet doors, which is where we keep all our canned food. Discouraging and demoralizing are the two words that come to mind when I look around and all I can see and feel is a damp boat.
Haha. So we're just talking about how like so many people are selling their boats right now. Like, we see a lot of people like putting their boats for sale, and the thing I've noticed, like, I've been sailing offshore since 2015, like on my old boat and now on Sitka, and it's easy to get burnt out. Like, if you're sailing full time, like 24/7 all year and not taking a break, like, most people will burn themselves out. Like I was just saying, like, unless you're on an unlimited budget, meaning like you have like the boat of your dreams and minimal issues, and if you have big issues, you're able to just take your credit card out and pay for the repair immediately, or you're able to like take a break by going in a marina for like extended periods of time, like 3-4 months, and having shore power, AC, or like heating if you're somewhere cold, and like a normal day-to-day life where not everything is extra hard, then it's easier to, you know, last forever in this lifestyle. So for us, like, that's why I think it's important in this stage anyways in our life and our budget, that we only sail for like half or a little bit more than half the year, and then we go back and work, because A, we don't have the money to stay longer, but B, like, little things get really frustrating. Like right now, like, all these leaks are driving me insane. Like, we've put so much time, energy, and money into this boat, and now seeing it like kind of all crumple with all these leaks is kind of a pain to see, but there's nothing we can do about it. Like, it's raining every day. We can't just like, you know, attempt to fix them when it's literally pouring rain. So right now there's this system off the East Coast and it's causing all this rain, so we just gotta wait. We gotta be patient and just change out our paper towel in the windows and rags, and, you know, it's the way it is. But, you know, after 2 years in the desert, I guess a lot of the sealant has failed, even though like we resealed everything before leaving Canada. Like, the thing that's most likely leaking in our room, from what I can see, is the track, which is a brand new track, the jib track. at least like it's not going to cause any core issues because we over drilled the holes and epoxied them. But yeah, it's just like, it's not big things, but it's just frustrating. It's very frustrating when you look around and there's drips dripping everywhere and you can't do anything about it except change rags.
It's defeating.
Yeah, it's very defeating. But it is what it is. But yeah, we see a lot of people right now putting their boats for sale. And yeah, I feel them. Like, we're not there, don't worry, we're not putting Sitka for sale, but I've been there before where you're like, you just feel so defeated that you're like, you know what, like, I'm done. You know, it's just like, everything's a lot harder than people think. Like, YouTube doesn't portray a realistic approach to what this is, and it's impossible for people to really understand, because when you're watching, and I watch a lot of sailing YouTube because I find it enjoyable, but when you're watching it, you're at home sitting on a dry couch in a climate controlled environment, so it's very hard to actually put yourself in those situations unless you've been in those situations before. It's like when you're coming back to your boat and it's been raining for 9 hours and your dinghy is like filled to the brim of water and you're freezing cold and all you see is breaking waves on the beach that you know you're gonna have to go through before you get to your boat, and like you're bailing water for like 40 minutes and then you get in this and then you get back to your boat and everything's kind of damp and wet and you have no electricity, barely any electricity to use. You can't even turn your fans on because there hasn't been sun for like over a week now, so your batteries are pretty much at the lowest they've ever been. So it's either like you run your engine at like 11 p.m. to midnight, and this is like literally what we had to do 2 days ago. Like, it's just like things like that add up. But yeah, it's part of the journey, and that it makes when it's gonna be super sunny and we'll be walking on the beach and there'll be howler monkeys, it'll make it that much more enjoyable because we went through that super big low. And that's what I mean by sailing is the highest highs and the lowest lows. Well, this is it.
It was pretty clear that the crew aboard Sitka needed a morale boost. So, despite the rain, we jumped in the dinghy and adventured to shore to remind ourselves about the beauty that surrounds us here in captivating Costa Rica, no matter the forecast. Upon arriving to the shores of Playa Maya de Cana, we were greeted by lush greenery and even some howler monkeys who played peekaboo with us in the trees. I thought it would be easier getting these guys on camera, but they were quicker than I thought. It still made for an amazing sight and even better memory. Well, this bay is sure catered to cruisers. You just park your dinghy on the beach and there's a nature sanctuary up there that has free drinking water. Amazing. Now if this rain could stop, that would be even better.
Run successful. No! It's nice to be somewhere where the drinking water or the water is potable, where you don't have to buy water all the time. Forgot how it felt. Last time we did that was like the States, I guess.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Next week, we do some necessary fixes to Sitka, and we show you more of this beautiful bay before sailing off once again to new and exciting places, ones of which we hope aren't as rainy. Thanks for being here, and we hope you come back again next Sunday. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Stick around for more to come. If you enjoyed, please spread the love and let us know. Special thank you to our Patreon members for making these videos possible, as well as helping our dreams come true. See you all next week.